All right, everybody. Welcome to the Union Station Extension for what is now, I think, the 5th year that I've done the Lowdown on Ridertown with the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders, 98.1 KHAK, 94.1 KRNA, and the Union Station Extension. Chad Cooper here. We're going to, as I think you guys knew last year, about midway through the year, we kind of switched things up. We went with a theme every night. It was a lot of fun. We really put a lot of focus on the players and their lives, and we kind of themed every night from about the midway point of the season onward. So tonight, in that theme, about 2 days ago, I got some insider information, plenty of questions built up, mostly for the guys coach, so no fear out of you this week, not to worry very much. Didn't get too much background on you. I'll probably have a couple of questions that might trend on embarrassing, but we'll keep it pretty general for the most part. But with these guys, we have some stories, and so it's coming up for a theme for the night. I think we're going to call it Lifelong Friends / Roomies. That's going to be the theme of tonight's show based on some of the insider information I was given up ahead of time. Also, I'd like to just put out there that starting with tonight, throughout the rest of the show this season, which runs until I think the first or second week in April, I'm going to don a new blazer every week. I'm going to be like the Rough Riders Don Cherry. I'm going to have a different blazer every single week up here. We're going to make it really fun and exciting. I will try to not cycle through another blazer. I'm not going to repeat one the rest of the year. New blazer every week, just to give you another reason to come out each and every Tuesday night, which you guys probably know. We switched things up a little bit this year. The shows will be on Tuesday nights, and we moved them up half an hour, 5:30 to 6 o'clock. Did that basically because I think it's a little more convenient when a lot of you guys get off of work. If you want to come on out, you can just come straight to the show and then get home fairly early as well. Now, we do these as a full-on experience, not just the show, but I know people hang around most weeks afterwards as well and have fun. We have food and drinks provided by the Union Station Extension specials every week, both for kids and families. So come on out and join us. As we've done in years past, the audio of these will be posted, so we'll record hopefully most of them, or all of them actually, as we go throughout the season. I know people like to kind of go back, especially the players' families and whatnot, and listen to the show. So we'll do that. We'll record those. If you don't already follow KRNA or KHAK on Facebook, I would suggest you do that because that's the easiest way to see when we post them up on there, and we'll let you know as soon as we get them posted up. Now, in years past, we've done a karaoke night. The word on the street is we're going to do another one of those. I've also heard some rumors that we might have a game night, so that's something to look forward to as well, keeping in with the fun atmosphere that we try to build up week in and week out. But also, the main focus is getting to know these guys, the players. Also, I'll mention too, don't want to forget that we will have sign up and registration for a chance to win a team autographed jersey, which will be given away at the end of the final show. So at the end of this season of the Lowdown on Ridertown, we'll give that autographed jersey away. There is a box at the back that you can sign up for, and the greatest thing about it is the more shows you show up to, the more times you can sign up, the higher your odds of winning are. So you can sign up every week, so if you show up to all 10 shows, you have 10 chances theoretically to win that autographed jersey. So hopefully you'll come out each and every week. I know we have some great crowds that we've had in years past, especially last year, and it's been a lot of fun. So we'll get right into the show here. I have my guest tonight, head coach Mark Carlson, Mark McLaughlin, TJ Walsh, giving the summary of everything now with the show. Let's start off just real quick and easy with some player bios. Mark, I'll start on your end. Where are you from? How'd you get here with the Rough Riders?
So I'm from Billerica, Massachusetts. I think I got drafted back in 2015, I think, in the Phase 1 draft by Coach Carlson. And yeah, so here I am today.
And TJ, how about you? Your background, where you're from, how you got here with the Rough Riders?
Yeah, I'm from Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, about 40 minutes down the road from Mark. And, Coach saw me playing a couple years ago, and, we talked a lot, and I figured this would be an awesome fit for me, and here I am.
Now, you guys both kind of teased at it, but how long have you guys known each other?
Like 12 years, probably.
Okay, I heard from like the ages of 6 or 7.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys have known each other for basically your whole lives for the most part, when you can start remembering. Coach, I wonder if you can tell us a bit about both of these guys respectively, and how you brought them on board, why you brought them on board, and what they bring to the team.
Well, the first thing I'd like to, just quick story since we're mixing it up from now on.
Sure.
Because Dalton Messina and I were just talking about this, so, and TJ I don't think even knows this story, but So obviously I, do a lot of recruiting, talk to a lot of people on the phone, and we've got this beautiful city of Cedar Rapids, and you'd be amazed at how many times the name, the city, the Cedar Rapids gets mixed up. And so over all the years, I'll be talking to someone on the phone and, maybe talking to a dad, and the dad will say, oh, geez, we like the Rough Riders. We're really interested in coming to play in Cedar Springs. And now actually it's Cedar Rapids. And a month later, I'll be talking to somebody, and this happened actually a couple months ago here, and we're real interested in playing in Grand Rapids. Grand Rapids seems like, well, that's in the American Hockey League, so we're not quite to that level yet. Sure. There's been Cedar Hill, Cedar Ridge, Cedar Plains. Like, these are all true. My wife has heard a lot of them because she's around them on the phone a lot. And so I was talking to Mr. Walsh and it looks like he doesn't know the story. And I had talked to him a number of different times, and he knew a lot about us. And then all of a sudden he goes, well, we'd be real happy if TJ played in Cedar Junction.
It seems like everyone's getting the Cedar part right. The Cedar part seems to stick. It's the second part.
Yeah, so evidently Cedar Junction is a high-security prison in the state of Massachusetts. I guess so.
It's a good place to play. That's how you get discipline in.
Yes, which is needed.
Indeed it is.
Yeah.
Guys, speaking of in that Cedar Rapids vein, since we're going down this highway now, maybe you guys have been here long enough, but the City of Five Seasons is the official slogan. A lot of people who have been here for quite a while, maybe born and raised here, call it the City of Five Smells. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
Now sometimes, depending on the day, it's a bad smell, but I've noticed over the past couple of days it's been kind of maple syrupy. Have you guys noticed that?
I think it just kind of smells like oatmeal.
Yeah, it's got an oatmeal vibe to it. To me, I'll take that over sometimes not so hot the other smells. Coach, you've been here a number of years now. What do you think about the smells of Cedar Rapids over the years?
I haven't noticed them a ton. I think you got, what are those cranberries? What's that one, Captain Crunch or something?
Yeah.
I think you smell that sometimes.
Yeah, crunch berries,
Sometimes we go into opposing buildings, the ones that are closer in the area, in our league, and I don't know, is it Leonard Skinner? Ooh, that smell.
Yeah.
They play that song?
Yeah.
During warm-ups?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good theme song for Cedar Rapids.
Yeah, they do.
That's maybe what you need so people realize what the name of the city is. You need some sort of device to go along with it. Just think about that from now on. Otherwise, you might get another Cedar Junction creeping up sooner or later. So, guys, since you knew each other from childhood, from an early age, what was it like to wind back up on the same team together with the Rough Riders? Mark, I'll ask you first.
It was pretty cool. It just happened to work out that way with TJ tendering here and stuff. And I'd have to say it made the decision easier to come out here, like having a friend and having a teammate that I know pretty well. So it's pretty cool.
TJ, how about your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it was definitely awesome, especially the year before we came here, we were roommates at Cushing Academy, Roll Pens. And so, yeah, it was just easy. We already known each other really well, obviously. And, just, like you said, made the decision a lot easier.
Now, TJ, I'll stick with you. We're going to get more into the Cushing connection in a couple minutes, but you guys have also been roommates with the Riders for 2 years. What's house life like? Your housing family, who do you guys stay with?
We stay with Doug, Janelle, and Nick. Shout out to the Banowitz family over there. And we live with Jordan Timmons, who can't be here right now. But it's been awesome. We couldn't be more grateful to have such an awesome family to live with. And we're extremely close with them, and it's been nothing but the best this past 2 years.
Mark, what's it been like living with TJ, living with the housing family? What's it been like?
Yeah, it's been awesome. We have the best billets, they're the best cooks, the nicest people, so no complaining from me.
Now, as far as college commitments, where are you guys going? Where are you heading? Mark, I'll start with you.
We're both going to Boston College.
TJ, he gave you a big announcement away. You feel okay about that?
No, it's fine.
Okay. What went into your decision, Mark, to go to BC?
I'd say it's close to home. It's a pretty historic program, and I like to get a balance of both good academics and athletics, so I think it's going to be a perfect fit for me.
TJ, how about you? What went into your decision?
Yeah, same here. The coaching staff's awesome over there, and when I visited, it was awesome. All the facilities were great. The rink's awesome, and just an awesome campus. So, it was a no-brainer for me.
Repping them on the sweatshirt right there too. Yep. So that I guess that leads to maybe a point of contention. Back on December 27th, that bowl game, you guys pulling for BC or pulling for Iowa?
I don't know. I don't want to answer that.
Good political answer. Mark, how about you? You ready to pick a side on this one?
No way.
No way, okay. So as far as you guys are concerned, neutral down the line.
Yeah.
Now, Mark, you happen to be also a captain on this squad, on the Rough Riders. What's that mean to you, that responsibility, be a team captain?
Oh yeah, it was, to be voted by your peers it was an honor, and it comes with great responsibility. So, just every day making sure I'm a good role model for the team.
And Coach, Mark kind of tipped it off there. I know a lot of times the team captain, very team-based in terms of the players vote on it, but what's Mark bring to the table, and also TJ as well on this squad, both on the ice but also off the ice?
Well, I think they both have been great here over the last couple of years, and Mark, I think learned they both learned a lot, last year, and I think it was great for Mark to, like he said, I think one of the best compliments that you can get is getting voted by your teammates in a leadership position. I thought that was great for Mark, and TJ's been through some different battles over the last couple of years with injuries and stuff, and it's great to have him back in the lineup here over the last couple of weeks, and continue to see his development.
Now, Coach, I'll stick with you real quick in a little bit of hockey-related news. Now, there was an addition, I should say, to the coaching staff this week. If you can tell us a little bit about that, who you brought on board. I know it's someone that a lot of Riders fans will probably be familiar with.
Yeah, we're real happy, Coop, to have Scott Meyer back with us, and Scotty and I have worked together for a number of years. He was here for 2 years as a full-time coach and goalie coach, and then moved back up to the Minneapolis area and got into business, and then decided to get back into hockey, and he had been coaching, and if I back up a second, after he was away for a couple of years, he became our goalie coach, and he would come down for every couple of weeks for a couple of practices and also see games. So I think all the guys will be fortunate to have Scotty around. I think that Yuri and Blake will really enjoy working with Scotty. He was a tremendous goaltender at the USHL college level and the pro level.
Now, I'm about ready to get into something I started last year, which I'm calling kind of my speed round. It doesn't necessarily need to be fast, but it's where we really get to know these guys and ask them some off-the-ice questions, just get to know them a little bit. But before I do that, I just want to make sure that we open up each and every week. If we have any audience questions, feel free to raise your hand during this time. You can feel free to pipe up and ask any questions to the guys before I really get into the heart of things. Any questions from the audience at this point? Anything for the guys? All right, keep it in mind, because once we start getting to the rapid fire round, things might come to mind. 2 games for the Rough Riders coming up this weekend. Fortunately, they're both at home. Friday, January 19th versus Team USA. It happens to be small business night. And then Saturday, January 20th versus Dubuque, happens to be superhero night. So, speaking of that theme, let's start off with their guys. TJ, I'll start with you. Favorite superhero?
I'd say Aquaman. I'm a big Aquaman guy. So.
What got you into Aquaman? Any reason?
I don't know. Just the Justice League movies are pretty cool, and I don't know. It's different.
Mark, how about you? Favorite superhero?
Probably definitely Spider-Man. I used to always watch the Spider-Man movies when I was little, so.
And Coach, you won't have to be thrown under for all these rapid-fire questions. Some of these will just be to the players, but I have to ask this one. It's pretty general. Favorite superhero?
I mean, I'm going to go with Mac. I mean, that's Spider-Man. He flies on top of buildings and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I'm going to go with him.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Yeah. Nothing wrong with Aquaman either. It's a good call there,
It's a
teacher.
little different,
It is a little different. Now, the same prep school, Cushing, and I heard through the grapevine that both of you, but especially Mark, for some reason, I'm not sure why, really likes to brag about the famous alumnus who went to Cushing. Mark, can you fill us in? I didn't look it up online because I didn't want to spoil the surprise for myself either.
Yeah, so John Cena went to Cushing.
Fantastic.
Famous WWE.
Now, does he ever come back? Did you guys ever see him? Did he ever pay like a return visit?
TJ didn't, but the year before TJ came, he was the commencement speaker at the graduation, and he may or may not have challenged me to a steel cage match. So.
Wow.
Now, was that challenge followed up on, or just no? No.
I could have took him though.
TJ, were you bummed about the situation that you missed out on John Cena?
Yeah, it's tough. He's kind of like, when you think of Cushing, you're like, oh, John Cena. So, I wish I could have met him and heard him, but, what are you going to do?
Coach, is that the most famous person that you think has come from a prep school that you've encountered from one of your former players or current players? John Cena. Were you even familiar with him? Or did you need to look that up need to Google that?
Cushing Academy, Penguins. That's a great question. I wish I would have had a chance to research this, because there's a lot of famous people from prep schools.
I was going to say, yeah, there are a lot of people who have passed through.
Yeah.
A lot of presidents.
A lot of presidents and a lot of professional wrestlers.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, this is another thing that came up as well, something that's off the beaten path a little bit. TJ, the word is that your father used to use a radar gun to track your skating speed?
Well, it wasn't necessarily our skating speed. We'd usually just like run and see who could run faster.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he's a lieutenant in Worcester, Massachusetts. And yeah, I'd have like all the guys over, and we were like super competitive. So we'd just go out into the front yard and basically just see who could run the fastest.
Have you ever used a radar gun for skating speed?
I don't know. I've done it for like shot speed. I don't know if I've ever done it for skating speed.
Now, Mark, since you were involved in the childhood games, since you've known TJ for such a long time, were you a part of these radar gun races, these timed races?
Yeah, I remember that.
So I think the burning question that comes to mind is, who was faster between the two of you guys?
Definitely me.
Yeah, probably me.
Okay, so we have me from both. I feel like at some point during the season, maybe when it's less strenuous outside with the ice, we need to have like a sprint off with a radar gun. I think we can work that in sometime during the season. Coach, have you ever used a radar gun to track skating speed or for any other hockey-related activity?
We haven't done the skating, but Jeff Johnson from the Gazette, he shows up every year, and they do he gets behind the net with his radar gun there, and all the guys shoot. And did we do that last year?
No, we didn't.
No.
Last year we didn't do it. We'll probably do it again this year. So we have seen the radar gun out for that.
Do you guys get super competitive when it comes to that, if that's upcoming this year, as far as the radar gun for that?
Yeah, I'm sure everyone on the team will get pretty competitive with that.
Yeah. Now, speaking of Cushing as well, whenever I research the guys, whenever I get the word on who the guests are going to be, I do like to do a little thing where I just do a random internet search and try to see if weird stuff comes up. Sometimes there are weird, like, promotional videos from a year or two ago that the Rough Riders have put on. Sometimes it's some weird thing from high school. With this one, you guys, it was pretty tame. It was just a 3-minute video of you guys practicing at Cushing. But the way it was done was cool. Like someone was wearing a camera as they were skating. He's pointing to you, TJ. Were you wearing a camera at one time?
Yeah, we I don't know who did it. It was like one of like a tech group at Cushing had like a GoPro, and they wanted us to put it on the helmet and just like go out and like kind of screw around and like stick handle and shoot. And yeah, it was actually a pretty cool video. You kind of get a cool view of like practice and stuff. So
yeah, it was pretty tame. It wasn't like last year where all of a sudden we had all that like Edino drama. There were videos online and all that. You guys get wrapped up in that at all?
No, not too much.
No.
Mass is definitely better than Minnesota, though.
Yeah,
Okay, well, you guys from Minnesota will have your chance in the ensuing weeks. How about favorite sport outside of the game of hockey? Mark, I'll start with you.
I'd say baseball.
Yeah.
TJ?
Same here.
Okay, so that leads into the next question with baseball. Mark, I guess, says that TJ batted .375.
Yeah, I was the contact second baseman, tried to play hard, hustle all over the field, and just get the bat on the ball and hope that good things happen.
So from that, Mark, am I to assume that you're ready to just like wield best baseball player to TJ, or is that a point of contention?
Yeah, I'd probably give it to him. I was more of a power guy, but he was a good fielder.
I got a fun fact. One time we were at a college field for practice, and Mark would like just hit with his arms, like he would not use his lower body at all, and he was hitting like ground ball after ground ball, and then one pitch he just hits like a 375-foot home run in batting practice.
Mark, do you remember that day fondly?
Oh yeah, highlight of my career.
There you go. Coach, were you aware of their prospects in baseball, of their skills off the rink?
I did know that they both played, but I wasn't aware of the hitting home runs and the batting average, though.
How about favorite film from you guys? TJ, I'll start with you. Favorite movie?
I'll go with all time. I'd probably say Saving Private Ryan with Tom Hanks. That's a good one.
Mark, how about you?
Probably Step Brothers. It's hilarious.
You guys have any contention at home about what to watch? Or are you guys pretty synced up at this point in terms of liking the same things? Or you guys have some all-out battles over what you're going to watch?
We're pretty in sync. We've watched Harry Potter about 12 times probably. We watch a lot of the same shows and stuff too, so I mean, yeah.
Yeah, him and Jordan quote movies like no one I've ever seen before.
You have an encyclopedic mind for movie quotes, TJ?
I guess so.
What's your favorite quote from a movie? Something you throw out just automatically.
I don't know. You can't put me on the spot like that.
All right, I'm going to give you a few minutes. I might come back around to that, so maybe scan your brain. Even if it's not PC, that's fine. We can edit it out later. Coach, I don't think I've ever asked you your favorite film. Do you have a favorite movie?
Rocky 1's right up there.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, especially being an East Coast native.
Yeah, Philadelphia style.
There you go. And guys, how about, we're talking about housing families, how about favorite meal? I'll start with you, Mark.
I'd say Janelle's mac and cheese is definitely my favorite.
TJ?
I'd say shout out to Doug's Burgers. Those are pretty good, but Janelle's cinnamon roll pancakes are out of this world.
Yeah, sounds pretty good. Coach, have you had any of these delicacies before that they're talking about?
I don't know if I've had the macaroni and cheese or not. I can't remember. We'll have to line it up soon. We did serve them one time. Yeah.
How about nicknames, guys? TJ?
Do I have any nicknames?
Yeah. Do you have any nicknames on the team? Either self-proclaimed or given to you?
Liam Walsh over there, he likes to throw around nicknames a lot, mostly to do with the fact that I'm not the tallest guy on the team. But I don't know, if anyone would really understand them or not.
Mark, any nicknames that come to mind that you have that have been gleaned upon you?
I'm usually just called Mac by the players and coach, so.
That's pretty easy.
Yeah.
And TJ, and you don't want to share anything that's been thrown out, like any nicknames? Nothing?
No, it's okay.
Okay, we'll keep that undercover. All right. We might come, who knows, maybe it'll come out. It might eke out toward the end of the year sometime. So I was watching this thing on Facebook that the Rough Riders posted. I think it was from last weekend. Coach, it made me think of you a little bit too. The stable was packed, and the people had their phone cameras out, their phone lights on. It was dark, and they were playing Sweet Caroline, which I'm sure, knowing that your musical taste, that has to be one of your favorites, right, Coach?
That's a good tune.
Okay, I know that you probably concentrate on more important things, but did you kind of get swept up in the moment? Were you there at that time? Were you out on the ice when that was happening?
We're usually coming right back out to the bench when that happens, and the other night, it was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome when everyone puts their phone light on and they start getting into it. It's a pretty good scene.
Now, guys, that was pretty cool when I saw that. It was a pretty impressive video. What's your favorite thing about playing at the stable? It could be a theme night. It could be something that happens in terms of the fans. What have you guys really liked about playing in Cedar Rapids? TJ, I'll start with you.
Just the fans in general are pretty awesome. They have some good chants, like the "Ref, you suck" chant's always good. I've never actually seen it, but I hear the Wiener Dog race is pretty cool.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people talk about the Wiener Dog races.
Yeah, and they have a lot of cool theme nights too. So.
Now, Coach, that whole crowd chant about the refs, that saves you probably a lot of energy, right?
Yeah, it saves me a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Mark, how about you? Favorite thing in the stable, theme night, anything else related to it?
I'd say about the same thing. I like the fans get really into it and they're really passionate, so that's awesome to see. And I think the Star Wars night and the Wiener Dog race is awesome too. So.
Now, as you guys living together, knowing each other for quite a long time, what's your favorite hobby or thing to do together? If you guys are going out somewhere or going to do something at home, what comes to mind?
Want to take this one, kid?
We're just really competitive. So I mean, basically everything we do ends up me and him just getting into it. So ping pong, pool, all the stuff we do around the house and stuff like that. So.
TJ, something that comes to mind that's different than that?
No, that's about right.
So in past years, we've heard about the ping pong battles. Is that carried over to this year's squad too?
We haven't done too much ping pong this year. We haven't even actually set the table up in the locker room this year. But
has something else come up that's become like the main competitive game?
Yeah, there's one video game that a lot of guys are playing right now. Only in the day hours, though, of course.
Of course.
And,
Mark, what game is that?
It's called Fortnite.
Okay.
It's kind of similar to Hunger Games, where you gotta try to survive as long as you can. So.
Sure. Now, Coach, you want to fill us in on why we had to distinguish between day and night on the video game?
Well, there's two things that I keep laughing about in my head right now. One is, so these video games, you gotta have some discipline.
Yeah.
We're here to we're here to become better people and become better hockey players. And you know, if the video games start going to the the late hours, or shall I say early hours of the morning, especially during the week, that becomes problematic for the hockey club.
Yeah.
Now, if it's after Saturday night, after a big win, we can understand that.
Sure.
So we're trying to become more disciplined with video game hours. And I actually heard that there's a way to secretly, have you heard of Pet Cube before?
I've not.
Yeah,
on that.
So there's Pet Cubes where we can learn some things. So you buy this little camera, and then you hook it up to your phone, and if you have any kind of pets, when you leave your house, you can you turn on the Pet Cube, and you can be on the other side of the country, and you can dial into this Pet Cube deal, and it will show you the area like where you have it set up, like so where your dogs are, for instance, which we ended up getting, or not me, but somebody else got this Pet Cube, so we could see what our dogs are doing when we were away. And the one dog has a tendency to enjoy chewing up the couch, so we could check to see if she was doing that.
Sure.
So I just told the guys the other day we were going to have to maybe hook up Video Cube in their houses, and maybe able to see how late they're playing these video games and what's happening. But I think they got the hang of the plan now. So
I'll ask you guys, has the Video Cube, Pet Cube, has that scared you straight in terms of video games, TJ?
I don't know.
Your answer seems to suggest maybe yes, because you feel like you had to throw it out there, the daylight thing.
I think we're pretty good about it. I was just, kind of joking around with that. But,
Mark, how about you with video games? You guys, you're okay with it?
Yeah, we're pretty responsible with it, so we got the message.
Okay. Message received. Speaking of player development, we were talking about that, commitment to the game. I was told this just a few minutes before I came in today, the Hobie Baker Memorial Award that recognizes the top NCAA men's ice hockey player in the nation. 49 of the 74 players nominated played in the USHL, and of those, the Riders lead the way with 9 former players currently. I think that deserves a round of applause. It's quite the accomplishment. And Coach, you mentioned it numerous times over the years how important this league is for developing young talent, developing young players. When you see guys, not just from the Riders, especially that, of course, but also just out of this league as a whole go on and really have great accomplishments at the next level, the collegiate level, what's that say to you? What's that mean to you as a coach, someone who's been in this league since its inception?
Well, I think it's, we talked about it with our guys today, I think it's absolutely great for the league. 49 players, I mean, that's awesome, and I think it gives our fans and all the fans across the league an idea of the talent that they're seeing every night. So that's tremendous. And then, we're proud that, that we have 9 Rough Rider alumni on there. And we talked with our players today about the fact, kind of the main piece of that was that, we obviously liked all those players and those people when they were here, but we didn't exactly, predict that they were all going to get to the level that they're at, and that shows you how hard this league is and how hard you have to work every day and battle adversity, and you got to stick with it, and we're real proud of those guys for being nominated.
Now, guys, when you hear about that player development, you see the guys who move on have a lot of success. What's that mean to you as players on this squad, Mark? I'll start on your end.
When you see guys like that go on and have that kind of level of success, it shows you how close you are to being there as well, and how close your teammates are too. So as long as you keep working hard, you can be there too. So,
TJ, how about your thoughts, your goals, and when you see guys move on specifically from this franchise and have a lot of success?
Yeah, obviously it's awesome to see coming from this organization, and it kind of just motivates you that if you keep working and you just stick to it, you could be in their shoes one of these days, and it's just something to motivate you a little bit.
And now, Mark, as we get close to wrapping up, and what was kind of a strange but also, I guess, ultimately funny story, you happened to suffer an injury in the preseason, and a certain player hit you, and now that player is a teammate.
Yeah.
You got to tell us more about that. You got to fill us in.
So Kyle Luft, he's here tonight. So he hit me clean with a hit, so no hard feelings. But it definitely created a bunch of laughs in the locker room and stuff too once he got traded here. So.
Coach, were you aware of that when you made the transaction?
Well, that's why we made the trade.
Okay, I was going to say. Yeah, there we go. Keep Mark in line. Yeah. Okay, there you go. TJ, do you ever give Mark a tough time about that now that he's playing in that situation?
I don't know. Sometimes when it first happened, when Lufty first came over here, I know we were talking about it a lot, but I just know that there's like one picture of Lufty just burying Mark, and it's awesome.
So this was caught on camera.
Oh yeah.
Have you blown this picture up, put it in the hallway, maybe like right above Mark's bed or anything?
I don't even know who has it. I don't know who showed me, but I know I saw it. I can't remember. I got to find it though.
Now we've heard from like several players about sometimes the pranks and the hijinks that the poor housing families have to put up with. With you guys living together, being good friends, any crazy pranks going on in the house?
There was this one time where, so TJ goes to school this year.
Went to school.
Oh, went to school. He just graduated. So me and Jordan Timmons, our other roommate, we set up a scavenger hunt for TJ to find his keys in the morning to go to school. And so that probably created a lot of problems for him.
TJ, you want to go into more detail about that?
Well, I first woke up and I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Like, I was tired. I'd just woken up and I was like, I see this like note where I put my keys, and it was like just some riddle. I can't remember what it was. So I thought it was going to be really hard, but it was only like 4 steps, and it was funny though.
So where ultimately were your keys?
In my shoe.
In your shoe. Okay, so this wasn't like, you didn't have to go digging out in the backyard or anything?
No, they like said it was like in the sewer or something. I can't remember.
Okay. He's scared of clowns, and it was like during the time where like Pennywise, like everyone was talking about Pennywise.
Yeah.
So like we said, it was out in the sewer where Pennywise was hiding.
Coach, what do you think about these hijinks?
I think they're good. I mean, it's one of the great things about junior hockey is I think these guys have a ton of fun, away from the rink, and they're fortunate to live with great families, and I think it's all good.
Now, TJ, would you ever watch the movie It? Or no, not going to do that?
Nope. No, thank you.
No, thank you. Okay. So a good thing those keys were not ultimately in the sewer. That would have been, no go.
But no, there's Janelle. She's here, our housing mom, and I don't know why, but for some reason she gets scared by everything. So whenever I'm like going upstairs and she's in the kitchen, I'll just like give her a little boot, and she will literally jump, and I think she's gonna like have a heart attack one of these days. She gets so scared.
See, those are the commitments that we don't hear about from the housing families. We hear about the room, the roof over the heads, the meals, the hot cooked meals, all of that. We don't hear about the constant fear that sometimes they're in. Some player's going to jump out from the corner. Coach, do you realize this commitment from their end?
Yeah, it's a big commitment. There's a lot of stories that go on, and a lot of different things that happen. And I can't get into it, but last year we had the story of the Lululemon shirt that somehow vanished from one house to another, and I had to drive around and find it, but that's probably not appropriate to share on the radio.
Okay, well, we might get into that. You got to leave some things out, stretched out over the year. We might have that like an ongoing mystery that we figure out as we get deeper into it.
That's a good one.
TJ, when the prank was pulled on you with the keys, was there like a rebuttal? Did you automatically go, now I got to get these guys back? And if so, did you do anything actually?
No, sometimes you just got to respect the good prank, Scavenger hunts are a good time, so it wasn't too bad, no.
Okay. And then the final thing as we wrap up here, the final thoughts on this upcoming weekend's action. You guys have 2 home games. Mark, I'll start on your end. What are you feeling as you head into this game? You have 2 games back-to-back, but both at home.
Yeah, so we have 2 home games, and we have a away game on Sunday, so 3-game weekend. So we just make sure we take it 1 game at a time, and make sure we stick with the game plan and work hard. So.
And then TJ, with 3 games right in a line like that, how do you approach that going into a weekend?
Yeah, you just got to prepare all throughout the week, eating right, staying hydrated, getting to bed early, and, like you said, take it 1 game at a time, and, just play hard, and hopefully you get the 2 points.
And Coach, I'll leave the final thoughts on you with this action coming up this weekend.
Well, thanks, Cooper. We're looking forward to playing a real good USA team on Friday, so we're putting all of our efforts towards that right now, and should be a real good hockey game here at the stable on Friday.
And guys, I will do one final last thing. I got the intel on you guys, did a little research, but I want to make sure I didn't leave any stone left unturned. Any parting thoughts out of you guys, anything that we didn't cover that you want to mention when you've got the 15 minutes of fame up on the Lowdown on Ridertown stage? TJ, anything I left out or that you want to cover?
I don't think so, no.
Mark, how about you? Anything pressing on your mind?
No, I don't have anything.
All right, you guys are good sports. So being the first people on a season is kind of tough. You never know what you're going to get into.
You know,
kind of laid the groundwork for the guys from here on out. They probably got some tips and trips now.
yeah, just trying to be a couple good leadoff hitters and get the boys rolling a little bit.
There you go. I like the baseball analogy. We wrapped everything together. See how that works, Coach?
Very nicely done.
That is what you call a wrap-up. So we'll end it right there. I want to thank everyone for coming out. I want to thank Coach, TJ, and Mark. Thanks, guys, for making the time on the Lowdown on Ridertown. I also want to let you guys know once again that 2 home games coming up for the Riders and that away game on Sunday, but the home games Friday, January 19th, Team USA, happens to be Small Business Night, and then Saturday, January 20th, Dubuque, and that Superhero Night. A reminder that you can still sign up for the jersey. You can do that every week. This podcast will get the audio up sometime here within the next few days, so look at KHAK, the Facebook page, and KRNA for that, and then come out and join us next week. Once again, same time, same place, 5:30 Tuesday night at the Union Station Extension for another Lowdown on Ridertown. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Coop.
Appreciate it.
See you again.
Yeah.
I love the blazer.
Yeah, we're gonna mix it up.
Thanks a lot.
Guys.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.